Hello and welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast Live. Tom and I are here. We're coming to you from our old time slot, Sunday night, 8:30. Really looking forward to being able to be a little bit more consistent with things. Yeah, with that, we got a lot going on today. Bunch of drama going on in AEW. Tom and I just realized that despite us talking about Ricochet last week, we didn't really dive in on Ricochet too much moving over to AEW. We definitely want to talk about that. There's some Swerve Strickland drama. There's some Ricky Starks drama. There's some just Tony Khan drama. There's just things happening in AEW, and I want to get Tom's take on it. Obviously, we're going to go through. We're going to break down Bash Berlin. We're going to pick a match of the week, and then we are going to get out of here. All right. So, yeah, excited for it. Let's go.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
I'm always stunned with how loud you are for the welcome to the One Fall Wrestle. It's so much louder.
Dude, like, I don't know. Whenever I mix that, like, for whatever reason, the audio felt real flat in my AirPods at the time. Trying to get that. So I was just like, just bump it up a little bit. And then I'll never forget the first time I heard it in the Jeep. And it was just like, what? And I'm like, whoa.
Oh, shit.
Turn
that down a little bit.
I need to turn that down. And then you just forget that I need to turn it down. And then I do the intro and I'm like, fuck, I need to turn that down. And then you forget about it. And then you come back and it's like, oh, fuck, I need to turn it down. And it's just this perpetual cycle and nothing ever changes. But I don't know, man. Probably about time we work on a new intro here, I think.
Yeah, I don't even have that Grogu shirt anymore, so probably
maybe I'll start pushing at that. So we're back. We're back for the very first time. Back to our old time slot, Sunday nights, 8:30 p.m. But it's new. But what's old is what's new again, or however the fuck that saying goes. Tom, obviously, there's a lot that I would like to discuss this week. And we're gonna get right in on that here eventually. But how was your weekend, bub?
It was good. Watched pay-per-view yesterday and watched some WVU versus Penn State.
I'm
WVU,
sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, I was sorry about it while I was watching it, and then I put the pay-per-view on.
It was a tough day at the office, and I think the worst part about all of that is that, like, the Big 12's wide open this year, and to have the ability for West Virginia to be like all hyped up in the preseason chatter, is not something that we've had the opportunity as Mountaineer fans to really get behind in recent years, and it felt really, really good. And then we go out there on Saturday afternoon and just.
I mean, there were some questionable referee calls in the first half, but man, were they? I mean,
they were the benefactors of a couple questionable referee calls.
They were, but like it seemed like every time they got a questionable referee call, they seemed to just fall apart on defense, and it was like you guys were doing good, and then it was like, oh, we're just gonna let 60-yard bombs go, no pass coverage. No fumble recovery, nothing. Like just, and then I mean, quarterback wise, offensive wise, they kind of stink.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. And like, it's just, you get all hyped up, and then it's just 3rd and 9. Oh, let's run it up the gut on a draw play. It's just ugh. So, hey man, I'm glad to hear that the weekend went well. Really excited to get into today's show. Um, I'd like to ask you some questions about AEW.
Please, let's talk about AEW because
Okay.
I've been doing my best to put the AEW on and watch it as best as I can, or at least catch up.
Yeah, yeah, and I've been trying to get involved in what the AEW is doing. Also,
Trying to go at it with an open
get
mind.
back, get re-involved again. Do you know what I'm
It's
saying?
really hard with how many times they're like, "Hey, it's a 6-man tag match," and I'm like, "Jesus, really?
And it's like, oh, we're still doing this again.
We're doing
But
this more? Like, didn't we just do 4 of these on your
yeah,
7-hour pay-per-view?"
yeah. So, but I would like to ask you a couple of questions about All Elite Wrestling. But you know who's sick at being asked questions about AEW? That's Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I saw that. A lot of people gave her shit for saying that, though.
No, I think it's great. I really do.
I mean, the internet wrestling community was like, they really didn't even ask her about AEW, although they did say, what's different between AEW and now? Like, whatever. Like,
yeah. So
people just have bad listening skills, I guess.
I don't have a problem with the answer that she gave. You know, she says, "Hey, listen, like I'm done. Like, why are we talking about AEW? I'm here WWE. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to get better. Really focused on what's in front of me right now." I think it was a great Jade Cargill answer. You know, but it doesn't disguise the fact that she still has plenty of in-ring growing to do. I will say, without getting too far in the weeds on Jade Cargill, you know, because I'm sure we're gonna circle into that later on. She looked pretty good on Saturday afternoon, Bash in Berlin.
Her spots were certainly well rehearsed, and she hit all her marks, and her timing was great. I think
I wouldn't say it was great. It was above average for her.
It was better than it has been. Is what I'm getting at.
Lots of upside in that young lady.
Yeah, I absolutely. I think if she can get, and I think putting her with Bianca does it. It sidelines Bianca out of the title picture for a little bit. But in sidelining Bianca out of the title picture a little bit, I really think it helps Jade Cargill to a level that is, and at some point we're gonna get to see Jade turn on Bianca. I think, and I think that will
Wouldn't it be dope if Bianca turned on Jade and we got heel Bianca Belair?
We haven't seen heel Bianca since NXT.
And listen, here's the thing, right? And like we always argue,
little girls love her.
We always argue about this. The little girls love her, you know, this, that, and the third. Yeah. But one of the arguments that we always had with this was, well, what I mean, you know, Drew McIntyre, that's why they won't turn him heel, blah, 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 blah. But they sure as fuck didn't have a problem turning him heel and still trotting him out for Special Olympics this past year.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't know that it's the same argument that you had with Bayley, right? When she was the hugger, is that it was like, man, this, and I think they're going to do this with Bianca. There's probably time to turn her at some point here in the near future. Like, obviously her role with Jade right now is very much, let's get Jade ready for the, you know, let's get her on your level, right? Let's pull her up with you. And then the thought of turning each other on each other. But man, little girls love Bianca. Like that, it's the level of like the hugger Bayley stuff. So I do think that it's probably going to be later. Like,
I mean, it's just not for me, bro.
It's not for you. It's absolutely not. It's Evie loves Bianca Belair. Okay, I have to. Evie couldn't give a shit about wrestling, but when Bianca comes on, I got to call her down. Evie, Bianca's on. She runs down with her little Jade Cargill action figure and her Jade Cargill Funko Pop, and she sits there and watches the whole match. Her eyes do not leave the screen. And I can't imagine that I have the only little girl that does that. So, you know, I
mean, they both look like goddamn superheroes, bro.
They really do. And that's and I think that's a lot of the allure of it, is that like, they're just larger than life. They look exactly like super. They're like, it's not the same. It's a poor comparison, but like to put they don't look like everybody else. They don't look like anybody else. They look like remember when we were kids.
Are you saying
no, I'm talking about like,
are you Oh,
like hawk and
well,
animal. Like think like
no, like
Road
you
Warrior.
just you're not that you, no,
No,
uh,
no.
I was gonna say, Bob. Listen, we've
I'm
done a
talking
really
about
good
the
job. We've
yokedness.
done a really good job here recently of not getting canceled. I just was making sure, like,
Talking about the yokedness and
oh,
Bianca with the long
okay,
braid, which is a
okay,
great heat magnet,
okay.
or just it's a cool prop. Jade obviously in the Jade gear, obvious always, and just looking like a freaking superhero
Right,
coming
she
out
looks like a
there.
fucking statue.
Yeah, I mean she's chiseled, and like again, like and Bianca like moves as though she's some sort of a like superhuman. She does. It's like she's like Captain America or
And
something.
then
Like
Jade comes in and she moves like Fat Yoko.
I, I mean, her big boot's pretty good. That looks good.
I,
Big
I,
fat
I,
Yoko couldn't do
I,
that.
I, I, I
Oh,
I
she was better this week than.
nah, she was actually a lot better this week. And like, I don't want to dog on her because I think that we've seen her growth just in this short time with
Yeah,
Bianca, but
it
she
is
definitely still has some
painfully.
timing issues that she needs to work out.
It is painfully obvious how little work was put into her in ring in AEW, and I think that's one of the biggest criticisms you can have with AEW is that they have no way of like actually developing new talent.
Then I mean, bro, they're not even they're not a traveling roadshow. They're a weekly television destination for about 650,000 people.
Yeah.
It's just somebody that looks like Jade Cargill, and like I think Jade hasn't quite found her WWE voice yet. Um, because
No, I agree.
I feel like even her promo skills have diminished a little bit from AEW. And they weren't strong there, but I feel like she's taken the step backward. She's trying to operate within the E.
Yeah.
And I think once she figures that out, we're going to continue to see the growth in ring. I mean, I'm willing to say probably by end of 25, if she can keep up at this clip, she's probably going to be a world champion.
Yeah, I would agree, and I would hope that she has like a world champion feud with Bianca Belair. I think that
I think
would
it'd be a
be.
dope.
I think maybe having Bianca win the title, if they're not going to turn Bianca on Jade, I think having Bianca get back in the title picture, win the title, but with Jade like at her side, kind of think like a Shawn Michaels, Triple H kind of deal, something like
Yeah.
that, and then having them turn on each other because of said title. I think that would be cool too, and it would be a good like kind of ease in for Jade into the main event title picture. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that maybe that's where it ends up going, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes, and I think that it wasn't the first match on the card on Saturday, but it was. I thought, and I'm a sucker for a title change. And I'm always it sticks out to me in my head as the only title change on the card last night. So, or yesterday afternoon, I should say.
Yes. I don't know, but we'll roll into that. I want to stay on the AEW side of the coin here for the first half of the show because there's some things that we need to discuss, and then we'll circle back. Obviously, now we've addressed Jade and Bianca and a little bit of detail. Yeah. So, hey, if you're here with us, man, we really appreciate it. If you hit that thumbs up button, it would be awesome. Even consider subscribing. We would greatly appreciate it. But man, you know, somebody that you and I have been high on over the last couple of years has been one Ricochet, aka Pretty Ricky.
Pretty Ricky.
He obviously made the decision to sign with AEW earlier this year, and we touched on this a little bit last week. And I was disappointed in the fact that he really was written off TV and left, which was a proper send off for him, et cetera, et cetera. But it also gave me hope that he was going to stay in WWE. But he has since made his AEW debut in the Gauntlet match, and he was lost in the shuffle.
Well, I mean, he got his big Ricochet spot where he got to dive out of the ring and do the thing where he hangs in midair and then flips and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah,
Great
I mean,
spot.
other than that, it's like that's all he did.
Yeah.
You got that. But I mean, we've seen Ricochet do that 100 times in 100 different things. So
So the internet this week was very divided. Surprise, surprise, in their feelings of Ricochet's debut. A lot of folks said, "Hey, man, this was this was exactly what we needed. Really excited for Ricochet to be in AEW, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." Then you had the other side of the coin that's like, "Oh, well, Ricochet debuted for AEW. I'm glad he's happy, but man, he's already lost in the sauce, and he's been there 15 minutes."
yeah,
I think you and I've skewed to the latter, where we feel like he is going to get lost in the sauce. But he did have a strong debut this week on Wednesday on Dynamite.
it was fine. It was in the middle of the card.
Well, yeah, I mean he's a mid-carder, bub.
But is he a mid-carder in AEW? Like, is
Right.
that did he leave?
Maybe, and here's the thing: I'm going to play devil's advocate because we all know that I do that so very well, right? Maybe Tony Khan and AEW have learned their lesson a little bit with bringing in these high-profile WWE guys, and pushing them straight to the moon and having the resentment from the AEW faithful, and really just kind of pushing back. And these aren't who we want. Maybe he's learned his lesson. Maybe he's going to slow roll Ricky.
I mean, I feel like he did that with Andrade and it was garbage. But then, I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I don't know that he's going to be used any differently in AEW than he was used in WWE. But what do I know? What do I know? So let's see what happens. Let's see where he goes. But I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of hope, but who knows? Maybe we'll see.
Well, I thought it was funny because I saw this week that the coach, Jonathan Coachman, it doesn't matter what your name is. That guy.
Coach. Yeah.
He said that he believes that Triple H is responsible for Ricochet's lack of push or usage in WWE because Triple H is a story guy and Ricochet is a high spot guy.
I mean, I don't know. I think that's kind of a harsh criticism. I think Ricochet is plenty good enough at stories. I think that you just gotta put him in the right story.
If he wasn't good at stories, why would they go to the trouble to write him off of television?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
when was the last time WWE writ anybody? Oh my
absolutely,
God.
it's been forever.
Anybody off television,
and with Braun Breaker, who's obviously one of the biggest, like, hey, stick around. Maybe we'll put you in a feud with Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental
I'm gonna
title.
wait for that payoff forever, bro. He's gonna be like CM Punk in like 6 years and be like, oh, I just went home for 6 years and I didn't go to this other magical place that's supposed to exist, and I'm back now because Braun Breaker hurt me 6 years ago.
I've been hurt for 6 years.
Now he walks with a cane.
Though. Still have abs though.
Walks with a cane from throwing himself off of shit.
Because
nobody told him, no, that's a dumb idea. You've got your whole life and career ahead of you. Think about your beautiful fiance at home. Hey, that's real funny too. So I was sitting there watching Bash after work last night, and the wife and the boy were watching with me, and I was like, they popped her on screen for the kickoff, and I was like, man, she's beautiful. Carson was like, you know what, Dad? She's absolutely beautiful. It's so beautiful. And he just kept saying it every time they showed her. That's my boy. But
good boy.
I just don't know. Like, I don't think that holds water with me, because Ricochet was the second ever North American champion in a Triple H led NXT.
Yeah.
Ricochet lived at the top of the card in NXT after he lost the North American Championship. He never won the big one, but I mean it's hard to win the big one when Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa are up there.
And I feel like they called Ricochet up pretty quick too. Like, it was like, once they figured out, well, this story has legs, let's bring you. They just put him in the main roster.
Yeah.
Because Ricochet is the guy who is all the stuff that everybody's doing in NXT, or in AEW rather, all that high flying stuff, the moonsaults, the backflips out of the ring, all that stuff. Like Ricochet is better at that than anybody in AEW.
And two, I think like it's crispier, it's cleaner, it's timed better, but like he can utilize that to tell the in-match story though.
Yeah,
too.
they're not just spots that he sets up to hit in a match. They're spots that he uses to tell the story of the match. Like, and now his selling, that was the biggest thing. And I think you can go back years of this podcast and back when he was on NXT, I was very critical of his selling at the time. And here we are 4 years later or whatever. The man sells his ass off, so he can get his ass beat in the ring, but then pull off one of those unbelievable high spots to kind of change the tide of the match after Gavin his ass beat for 3 or 4 minutes. And it's just really, he's one of those guys that like you just gotta watch. It's like, oh, Ricochet's on. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this on. It's like Ricochet is I'm not changing the channel kind of guy. Nope. And honest to God, AEW needs that guy right now. So even if he just signed a 3-year deal, because you know what, you guys don't have anything for me here, but they need people to keep their eyes on the channel. I'm doing what's best for wrestling. I'm going to keep eyes on this product.
Oh no,
Let's
you
talk
didn't.
In 3 years.
No, you didn't. I'm gonna do what's best for wrestling.
Hey, look,
you know, goddamn good and well that Tony Khan threw a big fucking fat check at Ricochet, and Ricochet was like, "I'm gonna go down here, and I'm gonna fucking take a big old withdrawal out of the All Elite ATM machine, and then I'll be back, baby girl. Don't you worry. You just stay here, and you just keep on keeping on with your Chelsea Green and all that's just dope shit that you do. I'm gonna go get us paid.
I'm gonna get paid. I'll be back. I might even invest. That might be where he's going. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna invest my money in my brand. Because he owns Ricochet too. Like obviously he is Ricochet wherever he goes. And so it's one of those things where I don't like it, but I'm gonna watch it, and I think that it's probably a short term. AEW is starting to feel like WCW 2.0 in that regard, where
if I had a fucking counter for every time you've said that, bro,
they're just throwing them fat checks at people right now. Like, here you go, Hulk Hogan. Here you go, Macho Man Randy Savage. Here, Kevin Nash. Here, Scott Hall.
Yeah, except Hulk Hogan's is Okada, and it's just
Okada's a joke in it, and I'm sorry, Okada's a joke in AEW. It's not even funny.
I mean, the thing he did with I pushed the wrong button. I'm so sorry. Woo! In the back that's making its rounds on the Twitter machine is fucking hilarious. But
I mean, it doesn't it's not like it's funny, but like, did Okada go to AEW to do comedy? Is that why he's there now?
Maybe.
Maybe he was being held back in Japan. He's like, I'm funny as hell. Let me do some damn comedy.
He's been getting his dick fucking kicked in and night out for the last 15 years. He's probably excited to do a little character work.
A little couple squash matches. Yeah, maybe you're right. He's been having to sell. They've been having to sell terrible stuff too. Fucking kendo sticks, like welts. Just that's the big thing. Like any Okada match ever is just like he just gets beat with stuff, and it's like, what the fuck? Why? Why did you just let yourself get mangled like that? And then now he's in AEW. I don't think he's been hit by anything that wasn't like a fist.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I mean, I haven't watched everything, but like, I don't think he's been like, certainly hasn't taken any unprotected chair shots or been thrown off of scaffolding through tables or anything like that. It's mostly been comedy, which is fine. Or maybe did he take a tack bump when they did the Elite?
I think he might have, yeah.
He might have taken a tack bump, or was it Legos? No, that was an earlier match. Yeah. It's so hard to put them together.
I mean, Bischoff took fucking Okada to task this week too. saying
I
that
haven't
he's
listened to
just
that
been
yet, but I heard it.
abysmal and like just such a waste of resources and just time, television time, and creative decisions.
I mean, he's
and-
not driving ratings, that's for sure. I mean, we can absolutely confirm that he's not driving ratings. I just bought Airheads on DVD for $11
Nice.
because it is not streamable anywhere. So now I own it, and I'm gonna put it like, because the amount of people have you ever seen Airheads? Or I
Yeah.
quote it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Airheads. We may have to have the Airheads watch session.
Yeah, I'd be into that. I'd be into that for sure.
Trick question, dickhead. Lemmy is God. Lemmy is God. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my chest, I think. Lemmy is God. Just
Hey,
big
Bob, I'm
portrait
here.
of Lemmy right here.
I'm here to tell you that chest tat, no matter how big nor small, for your first endeavor,
It's gonna hurt like hell.
might not be your best, most educated adult choice.
So you're saying I'm stupid?
So no, I didn't tell you that. I didn't say that. I just said that you might want to reconsider your choice.
Okay, all right. All right.
So we talked about comedy and creative design, and yet we didn't have time for somebody like Ricky Starks.
That's astounding to me because Ricky Starks is clearly a star. Ricky's a star. I mean, he's a guy who I'm not sure how he hasn't been the AEW. Like, the guy has more charisma than.
I mean, they're not even put him on fucking TV anymore.
I know, but the guy he's charismatic. He's got a great look. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. I have never seen somebody do a little like dance on the top row. Oh my god, the guy is unbelievable.
Nah, he's really good.
Great. I don't understand why he's been buried, why he's been regulated to like jobber status.
Well, I mean, the word on the street is he's got a shitty attitude backstage, and that like he turns a lot of things down. I mean, he's also the king of the tweet and delete. You know, I mean, he's critical all the fucking time, and then deletes the tweet. You know, but
so are we saying he's like he can't get out of his own way? Is that the problem? He's like,
well, that's the accusation.
He's
he hit the internet with a tweet and delete today, and he said enough is enough. Usually I don't speak on this, but it's tired. That Starks wrote in response to a fan who accused him of having poor attitude behind the scenes. I never turned down anything ever. Just stop. I don't know, man. They guess that there's the rumor claimed that Starks turned down a feud with his former partner Big Bill as he wanted them to part ways amicably. However, Starks' tweets indicates that there might not be any validity to those reports after all. I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. Like, Ricky Starks, if he said no, tells me that he doesn't feel like Big Bill's worth his time. Or maybe Big Bill didn't feel like Ricky Starks was worth his time. And Ricky Starks is taking the heat on it. Anyway, you slice it. I know that him and Cody are good friends, and Ricky's coming up due here pretty soon. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the E.
And maybe that's kind of the feeling backstage. Maybe Tony's feeling like, well, he's probably leaving, and I've got all this other talent that I've got to fill this time with. Why should I, go to work to find time for this guy when he's probably out? And maybe just Tony just sees it as the ship has sailed, and he's not trying to hang on to a guy or like keep putting, but like, and he maybe even hasn't vocalized this to Ricky because I'm sure Ricky's like feeling shitty about it, but like, and they don't want it to hit the dirt sheets because it will. But in the back of Tony's mind, maybe he's just thinking, "All right, this guy's certainly on his way out." Did you just
say that AEW doesn't want something to hit the dirt sheets?
Maybe not something like this. They want plenty of stuff to hit the dirt sheets, but not that they're just letting Ricky Starks sit in catering until his contract runs out.
I mean, we're talking about the same guy that they brought in for the TNT Open Challenge when Cody was the inaugural champion, and he was defending that thing every single week, and he was bringing in all this random indie talent, which we poked a lot of fun at. But I mean, we got Ricky Starks out of that. You
That's
know
all we
who's
got.
no, well, yeah, that is all we got.
What do we get? Anthony Ogogo? Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
we should have got we should have got Warhorse. Isn't that dude's name?
Yeah, Warhorse. Yeah. Should have got Warhorse.
Yeah, but they didn't sign him, and he's just, you know what I'm saying.
He's just floating around out there like.
But I mean, this is a
He was
guy
hot
that,
as hell at that point too. He was almost not. He wasn't Joe Hendry hot, but he was like in that level of like internet hype.
He was the internet darling at the time, that's for certain. You know, and I mean, they signed Ricky Starks to a contract based off of that one televised match, and then I don't feel like we ever really got to see Ricky Starks' full potential.
I mean, he was a tag team champion a couple different times. With Big Bill, obviously, most recently, and then God, who was he tag champ with before? Was it Brian Cage? Were they tag champs?
Yeah, when they were in Team Taz, I don't fucking remember. Regardless,
they were certainly in the running for a while.
So I feel like, you know, shit or get off the pot here, and it's like, you know, we want to talk about AEW needing to look at longevity and quote unquote homegrown stars. I think that they missed an opportunity here with Ricky Starks, and they went and explored things like Will Ospreay and Okada, you know, Bryan Danielson, which has paid dividends for them as far as their fan base is concerned. But you know, I don't know that overlooking somebody with the charisma and the in-ring ability of a Ricky Starks was a smart move.
But keeping like a Jungle Boy or, you know, or a Luchasaurus or Kill Switch, whatever he is, but like, you know, it seems to me as though there was lower tier talent to be cut.
Well, I mean, they got rid of Joey Janela, bud. I mean,
he was the lowest tier talent, so I think that's really that. I don't know, man. It was something, but it was also like, I don't know. They have let a lot of talent go, but I think also at the same time after Cody left, and then you had Kenny Omega get hurt, and like those were your big top guys. I mean, obviously you had Jericho at the time too. But like Jericho has obviously aged rapidly and has become. I stand by this. Jericho still has the best AEW title reign.
He looks like Steven Tyler's evil twin sister.
He looks like somebody's hip grandma needs to put their bra on. Is what he looks like. Somebody's ripped hit grandma got drunk and took their bra off. Is what he looks like.
Oh goodness gracious! Hi guys.
I mean, you're not now. That's all you're gonna see when you see him. You're gonna be like somebody's ripped grandma took their top off. That's all you see. That's what he looks like, and you know that's fine. But yeah, he's got that aging rock star look about him, and you know, yeah, I'm sure he's in great shape. Obviously, he's in great shape.
How'd we get on fucking Jericho?
But I don't know. You brought him up. But man, I just can't fucking stand him anymore. Anyway, we can move on from Jericho. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. I just feel like they missed the boat on Ricky Starks, and it sounds like there needs to be some things that need to be worked out, or just let him go, let him be on his way, let him try to grow his career, because I mean, he's still a young man. What is he, 26, 27?
I can find this out. Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't think that we're pressed for time here, but like,
he's 34. Okay.
Oh, no shit.
1990.
Oh,
1990.
He's still young. So
yeah, I mean, God, he was born when we were like 6.
Bro, 34. You know, that was a whole another lifetime ago, man. I felt real good at 34.
Yeah, right.
You know,
felt great.
Man, I can't. I get back spasms trying to fucking wipe my ass now. You know what I mean?
I gotta stretch before I take my first dump in the morning.
Good Lord.
You don't got to stretch before you take the first one? I got to stretch.
Man,
first.
I don't. I'm lucky.
If I don't stretch, I'm
make
like,
it to
oh,
the first
God.
one.
I
So,
can't reach.
so sticking with AEW here, did you see your boy,
Mox?
Mr. Top Guy?
Yeah, he gave a promo that everybody's like, what the fuck's he talking about? Even I think that's what the announcers said. Like, what is he talking about? Because he told Tony Schiavone that it wasn't his company anymore. And I was like, what? Is Tony Schiavone the leader of...
Is he the real Vince McMahon?
Is he the... It was me, Austin. It was me all along. I don't know that I'd hate that storyline if that's where that goes. I don't know that I'd hate that.
I mean, that'd be
I'm
fucking
like,
cool.
now that you brought that up, I'm like, I'd buy that.
Well,
That's
whatever it
my
is,
disbelief for that.
whatever it is, I feel like Moxley's playing a character right now.
Yeah, I think he is. Apparently, he's some serial killer or something. He's basing a new character on
what it looks like. So, I mean, what are we going to get from this? Is this where Shane McMahon appears? That's what the internet seems to think.
I mean, that'd be fun. I'd love to see Mox do top guy shit instead of like not top guy shit, like Barry mid card guy shit. Like that sucks. Yeah, I'd love to see Mox do more top guy shit. So that'd be great if he's playing a character that's like some kind of psychopath. I'm all for it. Like,
Do they have enough character support for something like that in AEW?
I don't know, but I'm willing to find out. Not anymore. I think 2 years ago.
Are you implying that because CM Punk's gone?
Well, I mean him, Kenny Omega. Were there like big?
Did you just give Kenny Omega props?
I did, but as a character, for sure, he's a big, goofy. Yeah, absolutely. He's like a cartoon. He's a cartoon character. That's the gimmick, right? So, like, I mean, they could do that. That's very AEW. The Bucks clearly aren't going to do anything about it or with him. I don't think there's any money in that. What else? No, I mean, what are they going to build up Luchasaurus or something? Maybe have him feud with Christian Cage.
I don't know. Maybe they're going to wheel. Maybe they'll wheel Adam Copeland out.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
And he'll just be like the wizard on the hill with the staff, and lightning will rain down on them, right? And then Adam Cole show up with a fucking neck brace and a fucking eye patch because he's concussed and fucked up and can't walk, and then
with a boot. He'll have a cane and a boot. No, a boot. He'll be in a boot, and he'll be with a helmet and an eye patch. And his jaw sewn together. Man,
I don't know. It was a really weird sequence to see on AEW television.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. It was it didn't come across, I think, the way anybody wanted it to. And I think the internet is so willing for it. Like, they're so ready to give Mox particularly because he still has goodwill. They're still willing to like have him be like, oh, this is going to be something great that he's going to be a top guy again with. Like, just give it time. I think they're so willing to give him that that's really where everything is drawn. Now, if it was anybody else or if it was anybody in WWE, it would immediately be like, that was absolutely stupid. Who wrote that? Is Mox back on the sauce? What's happening? Like, it would be that would be the but I think at this point there's enough people that want to see AEW succeed, and there's enough people who particularly want to see Jon Moxley succeed because of the goodwill that he's harbored anyway. He may have a second child now. Is that what we're supposed to understand? Are there two kids?
I don't know.
Did Renee have another? Because we're like, Renee went away for a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, or maybe he just went home to be dad, and maybe that's what he wants to do, which is perfectly fine. But
it seems to be working for the world champion, so we'll get to that in a second, though. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm interested to see where it goes. They have my attention at least, and maybe that's what this was supposed to do. Was this? It was supposed to build some sort of anticipation for the naysayers like you and I. I don't know, but I'm gonna pay attention for a couple of weeks and see how things
It's like,
unfold.
what the hell's he talking about? I guess I'll watch next week to find out. Like
Just waiting on the swerve, bro.
Yeah, I'm just exactly waiting on somebody to say something. Here's the problem though. If this doesn't develop, if a month from now it's just like we're still not sure what John Moxley's doing, it's gonna be like, all right, this was stupid. He's stupid. Everybody's stupid.
Yeah, it'll be
You
like
know?
when Brave first came back, and like it just felt like we were just doing the same thing perpetually over and over.
And then he got burned, and then he came back through the tunnel of rejuvenation, like that. It'll be like that.
So I don't know. They have my attention. They definitely have my attention.
Yeah, but if they do something like that, it'll be like, so this mock shit sucks.
Yeah. So I think the jury's going to be out on that one fairly quickly. I'd say probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, because I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of giant type explanation this week at some point.
I wouldn't be shocked if next week we're not kind of saying, okay, I'm interested, or wow, that was dumb.
Yeah.
I'm not. I feel like next week we're either still going to be interested or we're going to be totally turned off.
Yeah. We'll pin this one, and we'll revisit it. See what happens. Hey, have you seen this report that's floating around the internet about Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana?
I saw that there was a report, but I was very busy today and I did not read it. I just saw that one existed.
So,
what might said report say?
The rumor mill would have us believe, and Raj Giri, former owner and editor, I guess, I don't fucking remember, from Wrestling Inc., tweeted out, that he didn't understand where all these rumors were coming from, because they were led to believe that Swerve had quite a bit of contract left, and that it didn't really make sense, and that it might be just a flex. And Swerve quote tweeted it and said, "Would you like to see the text messages?" Which has now also led the internet to speculate on some possible contract tampering. First and foremost, I would love to see Swerve in today's WWE climate. However, I don't know that there's a place for him. With that being said, I think that he's in a great spot in AEW. As long as Tony Khan doesn't fucking fumble this.
So, don't agree. I thought his build to world champion was awesome. It was the best thing on AEW television. It was the best thing on AEW television probably in the last year. However, his title reign seemed to be buried 6 feet under by the Wednesday after that.
Well, I mean, he's not the first world champion that has been put in that situation.
No.
That's not been Chris Jericho, John Moxley, or a member of the Elite. I mean, I don't know why that really surprises you at this point. The world championship is merely second fiddle to whatever the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and now Okada are doing.
And the Blackpool Combat Club wants to do. Because why are they still the Blackpool Combat Club?
I don't have an answer for that. I mean, Regal's been gone over a year now.
He's been on NXT television and WWE television.
And I mean, and now somehow
none of them guys are from Blackpool.
And now
we got a Swedish guy, an Asian guy, and a guy from Cleveland, and another,
and the bastard. Pac's just all of a sudden in Blackpool Combat Club.
Right, Pac. I forgot about that. Well, because he can't be Death Triangle anymore, because them guys are going to leave and have contract disputes. So now he's just Is he? Where's he? Is he from Blackpool? He might be.
I don't know. I think he's from.
I mean, it's not a big country. Hold on. Where is Pac from? Newcastle upon Tyne.
Sure. Bless you.
Yeah, Newcastle upon Tyne. He's actually from Newcastle, Pennsylvania. No, I'm kidding. That'd be funny though, wouldn't it?
That would be hilarious.
No, he's just from Newcastle, PA. He's actually got like a weird hick accent. That's fake. That's a fake British accent. He's got a weird hick accent from Newcastle, PA.
No continuity, man. It's just like these are the things that drive me nuts. I can get behind a subpar storyline as long as we've got a little continuity.
Or some trying, like maybe try. I can't say that other than the fact that like some of those guys were in WWE together, but not in storylines. Like I can't think of any continuity between Pac, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta. I mean, I guess Bryan Danielson was in WWE at the time, but he was clearly in the main event picture. The only I can think maybe Cesaro and Neville had maybe match at some point. They probably crossed paths in NXT.
Yeah, on Saturday's main event.
Yeah, or like, but
Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah, this is not a like we'd have to like Google it and reach and be like, well, everybody worked there at the same time, so maybe there was a random match on a main event that nobody watched that they were on or something like that. But other than that, it's like, well, why would this be? Isn't Pac a bastard and a bad guy? And I feel like these guys are all like good guys now, but like Pac's not also a good guy. I don't know. I feel like this whole nobody's a heel, nobody's a babyface thing is like, it's not paying off. It's not working,
Well, Bischoff took them to task a couple of weeks ago talking about, we're going to be the alternative, bringing that whole fucking shtick up. We're going to be more sports centric. We're going to keep wins and loss records and then not doing fucking anything with it. I think this just circles back to what I continue to say time after time after time, that we fall down an AEW rabbit hole. They don't have an identity yet. Like,
I mean, I feel like 5 years in, you got to have an identity.
But they don't. They don't.
It's like they're just chasing. It's like they're just chasing cars, really. Like, oh, let's do this. Oh, let's have a tournament, and then we're like, this tournament's cool. Let's see if any feuds develop out of it. Oh, no. All right, we're wiped away. Didn't matter. Great. Okay, so glad I put 5 hours into watching that, and it turned out.
We just have a new belt that has a new name already.
Yeah. And they just change the names whenever, willy-nilly. There's still so many, because then we see all these Ring of Honor belts, and it's like, oh, it's the Ring of Honor 6-man tag. Like, what?
Say his name, and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Hey, so speaking of Bryan Danielson, why is he the world champion right now?
I don't know. So this is a great question, and I'm glad you brought it up, because like I have huge problems with this. Because one, he snuffed out Swerve's title reign before it ever really got rolling. I want to say it's had 20 minutes since he became world champion on television. Two, like, one, it was a career versus title match, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Bryan Danielson should be an AEW champion at some point. I don't think anybody's going to argue that point. But why do it is like, oh, this is my retirement run. I'm going to take this off Swerve, and I'm going to hold this championship till somebody beats me, and then I'm going to retire. Like, it puts I'm not vested in it now. I'm like, or he's going to retire from full-time wrestling.
That is the verbiage that has been used, yes.
Which is like,
And then he comes out and he cuts a promo and he's like, "Oh, I gotta have neck surgery." So this isn't gonna be a very long experiment.
Yeah, I mean, and he's just like, I understand, like, it's like he's breaking kayfabe, but it's also like, man, I could not give a shit right now about Bryan Danielson. I really could not. And honestly, his entire AEW run, I could not give a shit about it. It's really been, I mean, a bunch of nonsense, really. Like, it's almost a matter of like, do you remember when David Lee Roth did some solo albums? No, you don't? Well, that's funny because nobody else does either. People are gonna be like, David Lee Roth did stuff without Van Halen, and then you play them a song that they know, and then it's like, that's not a Van Halen song, and you're just like, that's what this is, right? This is Brian Danielson smelling his own farts and thinking they smell amazing, and that's all this storyline.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin. He just can't watch AEW.
Is it because Bryan Danielson thinks his farts smell great?
I mean, it might be, bud. You know what I'm saying?
I think he does.
Hi,
Pat. It's nice to see you, Pat. Pat, I miss you, buddy.
Well, don't miss him too much.
Okay. Pat, you're invited to my 40th birthday party. You're invited too, Walt, by the way. You're invited.
Fuck,
clearly.
I mean, I'm sitting right here, bro.
You're clearly invited. Look,
like,
wow. It's not even.
Wow.
It's not even planned yet.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Who turns 40 first? I think it's you. I didn't get invited to no party. He's gone. He's gone. It's actually not him. It's me. Walter, I'm sorry. Come back. I think he had to pee. I know. Ashley just said you were already on the list. You're the first one to get the invite. She's gonna hand deliver it.
I mean, I can't get behind this whole Bryan Danielson thing, right?
No, like, nobody can.
And you know, he goes on the internet, he goes on Busted Open, I think, a couple of weeks before he wins. I don't need to be the AEW World Champion, just solidify my legacy. And like, I don't want to be the AEW champion. I think that it's a cop out. And then Tony Khan's like, hey man, like, we're gonna put the AEW champion. He's like, oh my god, really? Oh, I didn't really mean all that stuff. I pigeonholed myself into Cody Rhodes, and you let me do it. And then, yeah, but we're gonna let you win it. Wembley, but Wembley's supposed to be my last show. Yeah, I mean we'll figure it out, you know. And that's exactly what this feels like. Instead of letting Swerve continue to grow and continue to get better,
and tear it up. I mean,
I absolutely feel like he'll be back at the tippy top of that picture. But we just got to, for whatever reason, do this retirement tour. And I mean, I get it. Good on Bryan Danielson. He definitely deserves the accolades and the kudos. I mean, he's been a tippy top performer for a lot of years across a lot of promotions in a lot of different settings and fan bases. And
he can become very frustrating. When he has a lot of creative freedom, he can become very frustrating. And I feel like that's where I am right now with him, is he's very frustrating. His attention span seems to be very short. Sometimes he is hyper-focused on wrestling, and he's amazing. Sometimes he's hyper-focused on storyline wrestling, and then he's the champion, and that makes sense, and it's great. And then sometimes he's like, just a hippie skipping through the fields of flowers. I don't know, man. He might be the Nirvana or the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
My God.
Maybe I've just seen enough.
Like, you know what? That's just,
Trying
that's just so goddamn disrespectful on so many levels. Like, I'm just not even going to sit here and let you finish that.
I think I'm good. Like if somebody's like, "Oh man, you want to listen to the new Red Hot Chili Peppers?" Like, I'm good. I think I'm good. Do I want to see the next Bryan Danielson fucking title reign? I'm good. I'm good, bro. I just did, Pat. I just compared him to the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
In case you're not joining us here on YouTube Live, friend of the show, Pat Martin, just said you cannot compare him to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Get the fuck out of here.
I also compared him to Nirvana,
which is
I've heard enough.
I think worse yet.
But look, okay,
just
Kurt's end was untimely, but Jesus Christ, has fucking In Utero and have the second and third Nirvana records just not been played out on 105.9 The X since like we've been infants? They didn't even come. They weren't even out when we were infants, but I'm sure that radio station was playing. Never mind. That's the name of that album. Yeah, man.
You're a fucking hater, bro.
I'm not a hater.
Bro.
I've just heard enough. I don't need to hear it anymore.
You're a hater. You know what? You said Bryan Danielson's frustrating. You know what? You're fucking frustrating. How about that?
I'm not on TV every week. I'm on this podcast, and I will frustrate you if you subscribe to our podcast.
Do you know who? Do you know who else is clearly frustrating?
I mean, there's a few, but go ahead. Who?
Nikki Bella.
Oh my God, yeah.
She's clearly frustrating because that fine specimen of a man just beat the fuck out of her this week. Her husband, Artem.
That's horrific, but also
crazy.
like
I mean, I don't know that he beat the fuck out of her. Like,
there was a domestic dispute and he was arrested.
Yes, but now he's saying that Nikki threw shoes at him, and
I can see that.
It's gonna get messy, and I'm not here for it. You know, honestly, I hope that Nikki Garcia is in good hands and she's safe and she's not hurt and she's not fucked up, and I hope that this is all just a giant misunderstanding. But like, I don't have time for that.
I hope that too. No, yeah, I don't have time for them either. But like, let's put this into perspective, just because I do want to spend a second on this. Imagine how stupid you would be to hit Nikki Bella. Now, let's just mention her exes. John Cena, a guy who's still unbelievably ripped. I'm sure that he still cares for her.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got that really big, weird, bald spot that like.
Dude, have you seen her current husband? John Cena could crush his head with his bare
he's
hand.
a dancer, bro.
Also, she spent 10 years in a WWE locker room. You telling me there's not like 20 dudes, 300 plus pounds, who would happily stomp the head in of a motherfucker who laid hands on her? Like, I can't even like. She shared locker room with Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. I mean, we're talking about people from every corner of the globe. Exactly. The Big Show.
Well, it's the big slow.
I mean, we're talking like some of the most massive men in the history of like being men. Just fucking people could like
back in meaty men meat man.
We'll get to that one. That was a great match. We'll get to that. But just it seems to me, this guy is going to get what's coming to him, whatever it is that he deserves. And I hope he does. Whatever that may be. Huh?
I said, that's pretty presumptuous of you. What if it comes to light that, like,
what if he didn't do anything?
She's the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just saying, like, let's say hypothetically he did nothing, and I said, I hope he gets whatever he deserves. And if he deserves to be left alone.
Oh, you're putting that PR spin on that fucking comment you just made. Man, what's that like?
What's it like to be really smart with words? I
Nah,
don't know.
like what's it like to get called out on your bullshit and then have to fucking spin it around to make sure that it fucking fits your narrative?
Maybe I'm just really good with words and I've got the out already worked in. I'm playing 3D chess over here with words, Walt.
Oh. And I'm just some dumb fat guy that can't fucking string together a sentence.
No, that's not what I said at all.
That's
I'm
what I
just saying.
heard.
I'm just saying. Oh, that's what you heard. Oh, well, Walt heard that one of my smartest friends I ever met and who I've learned to communicate with, he heard that he was a dum-dum. Now, I continue to talk to him, and I don't think I'm a dum-dum.
Derek, when did you get here?
What the fuck? I don't believe you.
He's not here. I was talking to you.
Exactly. Okay. Because I made a voice?
I don't believe in big words, friend of the show, Pat Martin says. I used to use for everything.
I don't know what that means, Pat.
I don't fucking know.
But thank you for your insight. I can't.
Blasphemy.
What? I fucking love Pat. I'm being serious.
Blasphemy.
I already invited him to my birthday.
I'm not going to sit here and let you disrespect the goddamn good name of friend of the show, Pat Martin. Okay? That's just not going to happen, sir. Listen, I don't know what happened, man, clearly. You know what I mean? And I hope for everybody involved that it gets sorted out and that it's nothing too fucking crazy. But at the same point in time,
I appreciate
I'm
that
good.
when it's like, everybody, we were over dramatic. But yes, at that point, I'm good.
I mean, it's not like he grabbed the fucking 14-foot leather strap and just beat the fuck out of her and then pulled her around the bedroom to hit all four corners.
He did not. Is that what we're going to talk about, though?
I mean, it's definitely time to talk about Bash in Berlin.
It was fun, wasn't it?
No, it was good. I thought it was a really good show. I appreciate the timing and the pacing and the tone and tenor of these WWE premium live events recently. Tom, I need to ask you, you have continued to come in here every other month and say, well, these international shows don't really fucking, they just pay the bills. They don't really do anything for anybody. I really feel like Bash in Berlin really made you chew on that sentence.
No, so, what I was actually thinking was that, we got a women's tag title change, but this really was just kind of a glorified house show. I really was thinking that, before I was, getting ready, it's what am I going to say about Bash in Berlin? I was like, I think I'm going to call it a glorified house show, because everybody else, you could predict it otherwise. What up, McQueen? Because you could predict it otherwise. And it just ended up being a thing where just kind of, man, so they kick off with Cody versus KO. And
whoa!
And I got to say,
they don't have adrenaline in their soul.
With that match in particular, the whole lead up to it was very 2018 women's WWE booking when Vince McMahon was doing it. Because it's are they still going to be friends after they have a match together? And that was the whole thing. And guess what? It was even gayer than that, actually. And not to say gay in a bad way. It was just, it was
gay, meaning happy and joyous.
Exactly, because they were still friends after that. They were still friends. So it was the match number one was a nice
favorite
match.
Part of that match. Favorite part of that match was right before KO kicked the knee out, and he was and he's standing there and he won't do it. And Wade Barrett's like, "What are you doing, Kevin? Get in there. Where's that goddamn killer instinct?" And KO looks at him and goes, shut up, you stupid idiot. And then turns around and then kicks Cody in the knee. It was my favorite part of that match. I don't know why it popped me in real time.
It's because he interacted with Wade Barrett.
I
That's
laughed
really
incredibly too hard at that spot. Like my wife was sitting there with me and the boy, and I laughed incredibly too hard at that spot. And everybody, they both looked at me like, bro, nothing happened. What are you laughing at?
they were like,
What,
you didn't hear what I heard,
yeah.
and you don't know what I know. Because one, you kind of also think Wade Barrett. I think Wade Barrett's kind of a stupid idiot. I hate Wade Barrett's commentary, but like
See, I don't mind
that
it.
might be the point. Like I'm to the point now where it's like he may be like the Miz of commentary. I'm supposed to like love to hate him.
I'm willing to bet that after fucking 3 weeks with Tessator, you're gonna think Wade Barrett's fucking greatest thing to ever fucking put on a headset.
I don't know that I'd go that far, but I hate him right now the way I hated Jim Cornette when I was like 6.
How you gonna hate me? That's a
That
bunch
was
of
the point.
bullshit.
When I was 6, that was the point. Motherfucker.
Everybody's got a fucking high pitched Jim Cornette fucking mouth. Anybody that fucking pays attention to wrestling, fat bitch. I'll fucking kick you in your dick.
Yeah, I love that yours is like kind of both Jim Cornette and like Brother Love kind of mushed together.
Motherfucker. I think that's because like Pritchard does it, and
Yeah.
I listen to something to wrestle with, and
Mhm.
like that's probably why it sounds like that. If I'm being honest, with
That's exactly because that's it's like a little too much Southern Baptist compared to actually Corny's very much up like this.
you. Yeah,
And he's like he's a little more of a like he's calling the like a horse race. Like
yeah,
like
yeah.
Kentucky Derby. Like he's
I'm
calling
not gonna change it. Like that's
No,
not.
that's fine.
But
No, I'm just saying that like yours is a little more like Southern hick motherfucker, which is where
watch
he
your
goes,
mouth,
which is
motherfucker.
which is where he goes because like I feel like Corny talks a little faster.
Kick
That's
you in the
really the like.
balls. Shit on your fucking face,
I do love me some Corny though.
motherfucker.
Until he gets off on a tangent about like
Hey, shock
numbers.
jock, dude! It's shock jock fucking internet radio. That's where we're at right now. And like, I don't think that needs to be a negative connotation. I think there's a lot of people that do that. And like, I know that a couple of years ago we had this conversation. Somebody called Cornette a fucking shock jock. It was a talent. I don't remember who it was. It was definitely an AEW talent because that's whenever he was hot and heavy and fucking. Oh, it might have been FTR, but neither here nor there. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's the type of thing that gets you clicks, and I think that.
Well, I mean, it's like, oh, we're going to compare you to Howard Stern. Yeah. Like, oh, okay, only the greatest radio personality of all time. I guess if I'm doing things that people are supposed to listen to, maybe I should be compared to the greatest radio personality of all time. Sorry.
Motherfucker. What
the
fuck were we even talking about? We were talking about fucking. Oh, Kevin Owens. We talked about the fuck. I'm sorry. I went off on a Jim Cornette tangent, and then we got lost in the fucking sauce. All right. We had to fucking turn the heat down, stir that bitch up, get it reconstituted. Now we're going to turn the heat back up. We're going to get back in Bash Berlin. You're hanging out. We appreciate you. Hit the thumbs up button. That would be so fucking dope.
Way to pull it back. Good job.
Hey, man. You know, if I've learned one thing from driving this fucked up death wobbly bus for the last 3 years with the three of us, it's how to put the fucking bus back on the right side of the road.
Because I'll just be like, woohoo!
Yeah.
Where are we going, guys?
And then sometimes, when Derek used to take the steering wheel, man, you never knew where we were going to wind up.
Because he would like go the other way. And like,
yeah, we'd start talking about like light tubes and backyards and ambulances, and like he got into some weird like black market wrestling stuff.
He almost got us canceled.
Yeah, so did you though.
Well, all right, fair.
Twice. Thrice.
Maybe today. I don't know.
So, R.I.P. Derek.
He's not dead.
He's not dead. He's just fucking no. You know what I mean?
He's not dead. He just doesn't fucking show up. He doesn't know what's going on.
I don't even think he knows what day it is right now. But we do miss you, bub. Yeah, man. And so after that, I think that's when they trotted out the women's tag team championship match.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
That was the right place to put it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we touched on it earlier. You know, Jade looked fundamentally better than she has.
It was short. It wasn't long. It didn't go. They
got about 14 minutes, I think, something like that.
That might be including entrances, honestly. I feel like they went a solid 8-ish. If we include entrances, but like their in-ring actual movement, a solid 8-ish minutes. Went fine. Everybody looked good. Everybody looked clean. And then we moved on. What was the next match after this?
Strap match.
Right. So cool entrances, obviously. Great match. Loved it. However, Punk lost the strap on his wrist like halfway through, and they were struggling with that the whole time. I don't think the crowd noticed, but it was painfully obvious on TV.
Look in my eyes. What do you see? My hand done fell out the loop.
Yeah, so it was like a constant like knowing now that like so he won, and I feel like that was a great.
This is why I miss Derek. Derek would have laughed at that.
I mean, sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. I was so like distracted by how CM Punk didn't have the strap on his arm that like it was really hard otherwise to like kind of pay attention. And it's like, man, I don't know. Like it's just I get it that like mechanically there was like a misstep, but also like still they just like went forward and hit every spot they were supposed to hit and everything was fine otherwise. It was just that like it was like a weird glitch in a video game where like somebody keeps like poking through their own head or something like that, like, or they're waving something around, but it keeps like cutting the top of their head off or whatever. And it's that level of like glitch out where it's like, this should be here, but it's not. And it keeps falling out of the ring because like, in addition to it not being tied to him, like Drew McIntyre also doesn't want to get like tied up in it. And it's like, there's just such a disconnect. So it was hard for me to watch them do it correctly and like still just go through all of what we would have gone had they reconnected it like with CGI. We'd never know. But just watching it happen in real time was like, this is breaking my head.
Bro, I fell down a whole ass rabbit hole and like got lost in my own sauce. Came back up for air. Got reacquainted with the business at hand, and you were still talking about the fucking strap on CM Punk's wrist.
Because it broke my brain, dude. It broke it. It goes.
I'm gonna break your brain right now.
Please do.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin, has a question. How do you say it's clobbering time in German?
Luckily for me, I know no German, so I don't know.
Es ist zu verpflegen.
Yeah, let's go with that. Es ist zu verpflegen. I like it.
Vergepflegen.
Pugin is fun. That's a fun.
Vergepflegen.
You sound more like the Swedish chef, though. Really. Bork, bork, bork. Bork, bork, bork.
Oh God.
Is that racist? It feels racist.
Nah, I don't think so. It was on the.
I mean,
Muppets.
the Swedes are the whitest people on the planet, so maybe not.
It was on the Muppets though too. So like, that's like the most Americana thing since apple pie.
I was gonna go with wholesome, but okay.
As long as nobody sticks their fucking Pepe in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't fuck the pig, Jesus. Kermie,
When,
ready.
bro. Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Listen, if you're still fucking hanging out, hit the thumbs up button, man.
You
God
have to be my
damn,
friend
we are
anymore.
fucking funny. I don't know fucking where we are, what just happened. Tom and I are both belly laughing, so we must have had a good time. Listen, man, I can't get over how corny the whole fucking four corners thing was, and
It
then
really was.
for Drew McIntyre to carry fucking CM Punk to all three corners
And
is
for Punk
just
to like slap it afterwards,
the
like
corniest fucking shit that I've ever seen. That I've seen in fucking 2020s in the 2020s, and that's saying a lot.
I mean, it's been 4 years.
Oh, that's saying a lot. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I watched the fucking Fiend walk through a regenerative tunnel, and Alexa Bliss fucking spewed black shit from her from her hairline.
Oh yeah, it was from her hair.
You know,
We
I've
just
seen
hide in
some
the wig,
fucking,
it'll be fine.
I've seen some campy shit. But I don't know. Punk got his bracelet back. All is well. We're gonna see a third one. We have to. There's no way that Drew's gonna let this fucking stand. And then I hope that they don't ever fucking step foot in the ring with one another for at least another 5 years. And there's heavy title implications. Moving on beyond that, we had the fuck. I'm drawing a blank.
Did we not have this up? Nobody was looking? I thought you were looking. Ah! All right, hold on.
Well, usually I don't have to have it up. You got me real messed up with the Vergaplugen.
Kermie?
I fucking did it again. Oh my god.
Kermie?
April.
There we go.
I returned with thine bracelet once again.
Oh, there was only okay. This was why
AJ and Larry, rest upon my straight edge hand, even though I kissed this and it was in Drew McIntyre's ball sack region.
Okay, so here's why we forgot. So it's Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley versus Dom and Liv. It was the piss match on the card because it's a mixed tag match.
Yeah, it was a story match.
Which in WWE means it's not about the wrestling.
Huh.
You just need to know who wins at the end. Hey guys, spoiler: the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley.
What a dumb fucking name!
The Terror Twins. Yeah,
it's terrible.
It's terror.
God awful.
I'm indifferent to it. I don't care.
I'm good. Listen, I was indifferent to it until Damian Priest came out and it was fucking like poorly cricketed on his tights. Terror Twins in like red drippy Scott Hall font. And then I was like, I hate everything about this.
I'm still indifferent to it.
That's
I
fucking
just don't
stupid.
care. I just don't care. It's
Samantha Irvin thinks it's fucking stupid too because she announced them as Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley.
Well, maybe that's why I don't think it's stupid because I heard that and I went, oh, okay, that's good.
Fucking stupid.
And I feel like in the back and professionally, like this isn't a long enough feud for them to be like, we're the Terror Twins. It's like, just put it on your pants, I guess, if you want. Give them away at a Comic-Con of some sort. So, the match itself was okay. I don't know. This was a TV match, right? Like this was a TVest match of the TVest matches, right?
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Was this match better than one of the multi-man tag matches on the fucking 0 hour buy-in show for AEW?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. 100%. That doesn't mean anything though, because those were like zeros, and this was like a 1 or a 2. It's man, I don't know. That's a great question. Wow. So were they better? They were different. This was cleaner than those were. Those were kind of like messy. These were cleaner, but it was like almost too clean. It was just like we've got this. It's like a sitcom, right? It's that's how they've got it set up. It's a sitcom, and that's how the match really went. It was very Seinfeld-esque. There should have almost been a laugh track and a cheer track behind the match. So it was fine, but it was like this would have been better to like open Raw or something, you know? That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you on that, on any of that, but I think that they needed to put a marquee type, match like this, with, different types of stakes, especially in a storyline that everybody's pretty heavily invested in, as a blow-off match on the pay-per-view. I mean, it is what it is.
It's got people turning it on TV, and I feel like that's why you put it on TV, right? It's like you watch the wrestling pay-per-views for like the big payoff, big main event matches, but like you watch TV for like these kind of like soap opera matches, right? And like you want to see that payoff is like the season finale of the soap opera. So maybe you do it the Monday after or whatever. But like, I don't know. It was fine. It just wasn't like it didn't really register. Like I know who won. I know what's happening. And now they're gonna all move away. And great, because I still like what Judgment Day is doing, and I still like.
Surprisingly enough, you called that. I disagreed that was going to be a thing.
Balor, man, holds together.
I don't know, man. That we'll see what happens, but it paid the bills. You know what I mean? And then we get into the main event between Randy Orton and Gunther.
Man, did they not put on a clinic? Holy shit.
What a great fucking piece of work. I don't know what the runtime on that match was, but it was every bit
plus minutes.
It was sniffing 60s behind.
It was so good. I mean, there were points in time where I thought it was slow, but like, man, was it like
they did a great job telling the story within the match and the times that it was slow.
And they paid off if you like paid attention to the paper or to the promos prior to the match. Randy was like, "I need you to. It doesn't even have to come out of nowhere. You're gonna see it coming." And it's like that's the kind of shit that like Randy Orton's so good at. And
yes.
Gunther was great. Loved it. It was great. It was great. It was probably could have had 10-15 minutes kind of like clipped out, but like I get it. They got to breathe, right? It was a long match. Good stuff though. Loved it. Gunther winning is definitely great though. Like, and like getting over Randy Orton like solidifies him as like big time champ.
Yeah, for sure. And the match was great. I think that this is definitely the biggest win of Gunther's career, not from the standpoint of beating Randy Orton, but from the standpoint of beating Randy Orton. Like, yeah, he beat Randy Orton in the King of the Ring thing. But it was questionable, and the match was good. But this match,
when he put Randy out, like he choked him out.
Yeah. this match was beautiful, and Gunther looked like fucking $1,000,000.
And coming out of it, like, looks even more dominating, more dominant. Just a monster.
Yeah. At this point, man, I don't know when they're gonna plan on taking this thing off of him, but I don't think that coming out of this match with Randy Orton, I don't think that the case can be made that there is really anybody on his level on the Raw roster right now.
I think he holds it until at least WrestleMania.
Yeah, because I don't even know like CM Punk fits into that conversation. It just that there's nothing there from a suspension of disbelief standpoint and storytelling
I mean,
standpoint.
unless they really want to like rush the CM Punk thing and like give Punk a title run and make it meaningful, they could do that depending on how dominant they make him look. Gunther, that is. They could like fast track it, but even that is going to be still until when's Mania? I don't know. I mean, I think that's still a Mania match because, like,
It's April.
It's already September, so I know we got. I'm 7 months, but still, like, I don't know. Maybe at the Rumble, that's possible.
I don't know.
That's possible. Maybe at the Rumble. No sooner than that, though, for sure.
I don't see him losing it at the Rumble. I think Mania is the.
Probably. I'm just saying, like, maybe the Rumble.
Who knows? Maybe he sniffs Roman Reigns' behind a little bit.
Wants to put both on.
I don't even think that, just from the standpoint of having a lengthy reign. I don't know, but he definitely looks like an untouchable monster coming out of Bash in Berlin. Kudos to them for making that the main event and giving it a ton of time. It was a fantastic piece of business. Yeah, quick grade on Bash in Berlin.
It was almost a third of the pay-per-view, I feel like.
Yeah, because it was. Quick grade on the event, Tom.
Give it a solid B. I feel like there was a lot of sort of big-time house show stuff, but the main event was a great main event. I do like the title change. I'm a sucker for a title change, so we saw that too.
I don't know if that was the right call though. But
I don't know that it was the right call either. But like, I like a title change, and maybe that's mine and a lot of people's barrier of like, well, this is a house show, but like, titles don't change hands on a house show. So, but like, they kind of put it on the lowest title. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know that was a great idea. Maybe they'll win it back like literally tomorrow.
I mean, crazier things have happened.
Oh, absolutely. So we'll see.
So, I don't know. I'd say I was thinking B+, BB+. So, I thought overall it was a really, really well put together show. I enjoyed the matches.
It was nice and short. It was a nice tight pay-per-view. I didn't feel bored really ever.
Yeah. So good deal. Good deal. Well, my friend, there's only one piece of business left. Tom, what's your match of the week?
You already know. So, I do love two big meaty men. All right, so Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed. Good Lord. That had all the big meaty men match, including a giant splash from one huge dude onto another huge dude on top of a truck with clearly fake glass that was meant to go psh, like when they just great spots, good stuff. All the they hit all they sang all the hits. Loved it. It's my match of the week.
I mean, I knew that you were going to say, did you see that Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman? Yeah, the big meaty men slapping big meaty man meat
Dude,
with
that's
big
what I
meaty
like.
hand mans. They're just right in my fucking wheelhouse. Just love two fucking just big meaty men just meat macking.
Love it.
I called it.
I don't even care.
Fucking
Go ahead.
called
Make fun of me for it. I don't even care.
I'm not making fun of you for it. I think it's adorable. My match of the week was the World Heavyweight Championship between Gunther and what's his name? Fuck, dude.
Initials are RKO.
What? Who?
Randall Keith.
Oh yeah, that guy. He hears voices in his head.
They counsel him. They understand.
They talk to him.
They talk to him. Whoa.
What a phenomenal piece of business. I mean, we just beat the fuck out of it for like 12 minutes. I don't need to say anything more about it. That's my type of match. Hard hitting, great story. At no point did I think Randy Orton was going to win the championship. But
that's the hardest part about it, right? Is that they put all that on, and you're like going into it when Randy's coming down, and it's like you're losing, bro. I'm sorry. You're not going to win. He just won the goddamn thing. You're not going to win.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, well, this was fun. I'm glad that we got to do this, and thank you to those of you that migrated with us to Sunday evening at 8:30. We definitely were missing a few folks here, I think, that are usually with us, our small niche audience. Hey, man, we appreciate the fuck out of you guys. If you're still hanging out, hit the thumbs up button. That'd be real cool. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you want to keep up with what we're doing, maybe go ahead and click the little bell. That might mean something here soon. So yeah, check us out over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_fall WC. That's ONE. And like always, man, it's just so much fun, Tom. I just appreciate the fuck out of you. Good times.
I mean, I'm just here to hang out, have fun, chill with you.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great. We can talk about our favorite thing, have some beers or whiskey or whatever, and
Step.
chill it.
Step. Thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast. I'm going to go indulge in this little guy.
Oh, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Do that.